Gonna be BDK, gonna be first up for the team 2 with Chicago. Over for the team 1. Team 1 is missing one. They had a Feral Druid. It looks like Feral Druid decided to bow out after seeing this gang of Death Knights populated the arena with big A-bomb limb for the BDK, trying to see if he can bust through the defense of Chicago. Chicago won this off with the Aegis Trinket. Lots of shadow damage reductions. BDK trying to get a setup versus Chicago. Is playing again, unless you change the setup. Most likely is playing, I keep forgetting about it, Crypt Fever PvP talent that transforms Apocalypse into a dot. Instead of summoning an Army of the Dead, it puts a dot every time you heal yourself. It refreshes the dot and is able to use Apocalypse more often to pop those festering wounds, which gives you quite a bit of burst, quite a bit of sustained pressure as well. BDK tried to see if he can get himself a setup. Going to be a Hex opportunity for Chicago, but just try to get a bait out for DK so he can get a Fleshcraft. Is able to get a wood share of his own versus BDK, not letting the Unholy Death and recover. Actually, BDK not looking all that good. It's going to get another Crypt Fever with Chicago. Potentially lots of damage. Chicago does have a lot of healing for it. Going to be stunned by the A-bomb pet. And BDK has the choice either chase it after Chicago or not. It's going to try to see if he can grip Chicago over the pet. Going super far away. The chain between the Death Knight and the pet is at least doing some damage, but it's going to be Chicago mostly avoiding a lot of the pet damage. Having to deal with the pet AI is super unfortunate. With BDK choosing to sacrifice the pet, summon a fresh new one. Has himself Apocalypse back up. So as long as he gives himself some resources, he could get a lot of damage out versus Chicago. That's going to be a big A-bomb limb together with a big A-bomb pet. Potentially with a Crypt Fever is going to be able to get a big setup. But BTK is super low in health. Does he have enough survivability? Big zaps out of Chicago. AMZ actually doesn't have it. Actually, it's going to be IBF out of BTK. Just trying to survive the burst out of the Shaman. The Aegis String coming into play just to help him with that magic damage zone. But Chicago still has plenty of physical damage output. Playing the elemental version of Enhancement Shaman with a lot of magic damage elements. But can definitely still get a bunch of back-to-back Storm Strikes. There goes the Zap. Just hard stops the Death Knight, getting gripped in. Just places the hand on the chest and just lets the lightning spell go. With Freedom Diver going to be up next versus Chicago. Chicago just used a lot of cooldowns versus the Death Knight. Also used a lot of mana just to survive the output. And now has to go from the frying pan into the rest of the kitchen with the Freedom Diver. Looking to get some big damage out versus Chicago. The Aegis Trinket is getting used by the Shaman, just trying to survive the output by the Retribution Paladin. Gonna be a big chop of damage out of the Retribution. Not even real wings either, just a proc of wings too. Chicago's spent and mana completely, unable to really recover health unless they maybe go for a trick at a wall. Might potentially need it. That's gonna be possibly a lot of damage out of Freedom Diver, setting something up, setting for a big go, but still just building holy power. Just building it. He's building for procs, building for a setup. If he gets interrupted here by Chicago, if Chicago is able to get a right angle on him and maybe land an interrupt, they'll be in perfect situation. Try to go for that wind shear attempt. Didn't quite get it. The Freedom Diver should be doing okay. He has ways coming out back very soon. Stun Chicago, hoping to get a trinket. Now I gotta get one. Chicago's being very careful when they use the trinket or any of their defensives. Has a wall, possibly Aegis, and trinket for the next set of wings. So for Freedom, he definitely wants to get himself a set of wings. Definitely wants to get a big proc. Definitely wants to do big damage with Chicago. He's going to go for big wings. Trying to go for a surprise without him himself. But Freedom is actually the one taking the most amount of damage. Going to be Shield of Vengeance. Trying to go for as much self-healing. Going to be a stun totem next to him. Potentially almost getting a Hex up. It's going to trinket as he tried to get interrupt on that Hex. But it's going to be a Flesh Cup for Chicago. The Flesh Cup does get broken very quickly. But Chicago is at least able to survive a little bit of this. Freedom Diver going in for the stun for Chicago. Has himself big wings ready to go with the next auto. It looks like he does get a proc, or rather uses it to extend his own wings. But he's just unable to really get a lot of pressure, a lot of value damage versus Chicago. I feel like when he had the wings proc and he had a stun to Chicago, that's where you just go. You just gotta go at least force a trick out of Chicago. That would have been huge. Take your hits when you can get them. Trying to keep the sustained damage on Chicago. Trying to also CC Chicago just defensively, and the bubble does get procced out of the Retribution Paladin. Low on mana, kind of low on health. Freedom Diver get pretty low on health as well. Actually, big zaps are just out of nowhere for Chicago. Either was getting a ton of procs or maybe just a bunch of crits back to back. I'm not really sure what. But was able to find himself the kill with Shilpa's chasing after him. Using the CC immunity trinket. Once you get hit by 1 CC, he's immune for the next 2 CCs on interrupt. He's gonna go for the stun. Quick interrupt on chill pills. Does get interrupted on a flash cap. So now he's immune to CC, so Chicago can't really stun him, but that's gonna be chill pills with the stuns of his own. Potentially even in a silence. So it goes big silence. Chicago doesn't really have much for it. Trying to wait. Blind. Potentially big obliterate. Trying to get over a heal. Gonna be missing from chill pills. Oh, but he still got big obliterates back to back. Taking him out. With Seaver going to be up next, trying to go for that Mirrors of Torment play. Shilpa's dropping under on the other side of the platform. Did activate Death Pact really early against Chicago, so he does get a lot of health back. Walking into this duel at the almost 8-minute mark with 70% dampener. With Seaver trying to maybe land a touch of the Magi versus Chill Pills, potentially trying to get a setup. Going to be that interrupt on the Arcane. Seaver swapping the Trinket for Relentless instead, so he's actually going to see CC a little bit less. That silence, that AoE stun by Chill Pills, and somehow Chill Pills was... How did Chill Pills end up proccing his root and silence? Wait, is getting hit gonna proc your root and silence effect? Oh, I'm wrong on that one. Maybe? I'm actually not sure. Chill Pills with the, not AMS, that's Spell Warden. It's gonna have a lot of that survivability versus Seaver. They did nerf Spell Warden by quite a bit, but with the bigger health pools in 9.2, I guess for that, it is still a pretty decent defensive. Gonna be a blind onto Seavark. Is gonna be sending C a little bit less long. Gonna be a stun setup by Chill Pills with a silence. Potential Immortal Witch is setting up. Seavark is gonna take a lot of damage. Potential Ice Block does need to use the Ice Block in case he's getting low. And there goes the Ice Block. As Chill Pills does ramp up quite a lot of his burst. I don't think there was an A-Bomb Limb in there, so you might be able to combine the A-Bomb Limb together into the next Pillar of Frost burst. But it does give Seavark at least an opportunity to get himself some sort of a setup. Gonna be Apollo and Chill Pills is gonna activate Touch of the Magic, potentially big arcane missiles. Chill Pills trying to see if he can waddle out of there. It's gonna be a flash cup. Seavark is gonna get chained of ice. He can't really jump down after him. Can't really do much with all those slows. Big grip onto the Mage. It's just trying to get whatever Issachar damage you can. Temporal just to recover whatever health possible. It's going to be a silence and Chill Pills cannot interrupt Seavark at all. Going to be a bunch of missiles flying at him. Lots of damage. Super low. Does go for the Death Pact. And potentially could be in the execute range. Trying to get as much healing as he can. AMS is up, but is still necrotic out quite a lot of his health. He needs to desperately escape out of that execute window. He is back in that execute window. That's going to be big barrages out of Seavark. He's going to be in so much trouble. He's going to try to get a slow onto Seavark. Every one of his barrages is going to be really deadly. Trying to recover health. It's going to be Arcane Orb still keeping him low. Blind into Seavark. As Shilpa's trying to ramp up a stun. Seavark hit with silence. Not much you can really do. A-Bomb with full burst. Seavark just gotta live this. It's gonna be Invis. Just trying to get out of there. Shilpa's did get himself a little bit of healing out of it. Touch of Magic get set up by Seavark with a big arcane barrage. Touch of Magic is gonna do quite a lot of damage because barrages do a ton. It is gonna activate the pet, trying to get an escape out of that execute window. With Seavark playing the Bombardment, likely playing the Bombardment Legendary. Whenever you find yourself below 35% health, arcane barrage does like 180% more damage. I think it's reduced in PvP, but it still is a ton of 130, I think it is. I think it's 130. Seavark is going to get a big touch of the match over his Chill Pills. Trying to see if he can blast right through him. Does get juked on that interrupt though. Chill Pills is going to be kind of low in health. Touch of Magic. Did a blast already? Looks like it already did. Arcane blasters were firing off on him back to back. Seavark is kind of low in health. Knockback on Chill Pills. Trying to get another missiles. Chill Pills super low in health. Is an execute. Going to be the Death Pact taking him out of that execute window. Trying to get an interrupt on Seavark. And Seavark is going to be able to back up out of there with the Dora's Shadows, but the Altar Time was not used fast enough, or maybe even if he did use it, I don't even know if he would have survived it. Arrowless is jumping in there, not giving Chill Pills an opportunity, going for a stun immediately. Is there any outs? Chill Pills is gonna have to sit the stun extra long. Arrowless is a rogue, so that's Kidney Shot. It's actually gonna be 20% more effective due to the trinket that Chill Pills plays. How can I play anymore? Yeah, I don't know. I actually have no idea. That's a tough one, Seavark. That's a hard one. Honestly, I thought you had him. I thought you had him a couple of times. You just got to get him low enough and then go for big barrages, but it's tough. I think the arena map is also makes it a lot more difficult, doesn't it? Quick evasion by Arrowless. As Lord is going to go for a bit of a spin. Fear while Arrowless is in the air. And Super Lord is going to jump at him. Charging in, quick disarm. Banners up. Avatar is up. He has full burst. Arrowless could be in a lot of trouble. Normal evasion does get a Kidney Shot versus Super. But does he go for a trinket? No, he doesn't. Just got to use the Orc passive to send that stun a little less long. Arrowless is going to drop down the Cosmic Trinket Grenade, but that's going to be a big defensive with Frenzied or Enraged Regeneration out of the Fury Warrior. Quick blind onto the Warrior, and Arrowless looking to bail out of there. just literally slowly waddling. The Kevin Slime isn't really giving that much of a reset. Gonna be a flash scout for Super. The Kevin Slime is just continue to spin over an airless. It's gonna go for the vanish. The Super Lord trying to keep the damage rolling versus airless, but can't quite find him. If you can get a next setup on him, the ton of healing that the Fury Warrior brings in could be enough in order to deal with airless. Still holding on to a trinket in case things really get rough. There goes the trinket. Airless with a cheap shot to follow. Does get the Curian Burst. Gonna be Blade Storm with Recklessness activated. Airless trying to go for a Shadow Step juke. Does the Warrior have the leap to get back up in there? Airless was slowed down by quite a bit. Does he catch up? Potentially? No, he doesn't. How you doing, my guy? Gonna be airless, kind of low on health. Could be an execute range. I think it might be over. Cheap shot on Super. It looks like the Rogue is trying to escape. Does the Warrior have a way to catch back up? Leap. Does he have a charge? He doesn't quite get around the corner. He still maybe can do it. Down his side. He has it. Oh, the Rogue does dive into stealth. Oh, no. Unfortunate. As the Warrior is looking for this Rogue, trying to whirlwind him out. First aid available for the Rogue, but that's going to be charged by the Warrior. Getting shot by the Rogue. Looking for the big burst. Does he have any more left? It's going to be evasion potentially. Trying to go for the juke. Cannot. That's going to be Rogue back in stealth. I think just with the Shadow Melt, is trying to go for food. Is trying to go for food as soon as he can. Super trying to see if he can spin him out. And the Rogue is going to be able to get a Shadow Strike in. Blade Storm by the Warrior, so he's immune to CC. Evasion out for the Rogue. Super needs to find a way just to fear the Rogue or someone. He needs to find a way just to see him for a second. It's going to be airless. He's continuing to blast out damage. Fear into the Rogue. Does he trinket it? The Rogue chooses not to trinket. Banner up for the Warrior. Does she trinket at the last second? Looking for the juke. The Warrior doesn't give him a juke whatsoever. Airless has a second setup. Actually, looking at maybe didn't have a second Shadow Step. Going to be actually getting super low. I think it might be over. Going to be a big charger and an execute. Oh, doesn't even execute. He just literally charges him, bodies him, runs him over. Literally teabagging him. Red Bull stripping down literally in his underwear. Gonna be a reflect with a stone to Red Bull as he goes for a human racial to get himself out of there. Lead by the Warrior, trying to go for a flush scout. Red Bull trying to see if he can go for the interrupt. Doesn't even go for the rebuke interrupt. And it's gonna be Red Bull trying to see if he can blast the Warrior, but so far Red Bull might actually have to bubble this Warrior at 64% dampener. Still alive, still kicking some way, somehow. As the Warrior is trying to escape the retribution as best as he can. This man used whatever survivability he can get. He got Trinket coming back up. Reflect. Oh, does not reflect a Hodge this time. Definitely needs to potentially go for a Blade Storm to get out of that stun. Actually going to be Trinket out instead. Red Bull better not find himself super low in health because that bubble or bop is going to get broken out with a Shatter immediately. Going to be a Blade Storm. Shatter to follow. Try to get a heal. Interrupt. Red Bull, he's a Kyrian, isn't he? So he can't even go for a flash gun. I think Red Bull might be in trouble. Wait, I think the Warrior might just have him. This Warrior just not giving an opportunity. Oh! And Lord does end up taking him out from the Rogue. On to the Red Pally. Well done, well done. Yo, can we get a hashtag Anaheim in the chat, boys? Thanks so much for doing it, my guy. I'll 5 bounce you for all your videos, all your contents, lives, and your happiness. Yo, thanks so much, Anaheim. Can we get a hashtag Anaheim in